free trial, get 3 months off your yearly plan. Really is a great service. Okay, so here is the problem for Republicans. What Obama did, and he did a lot of it while he was president of the United States, is he shifted the ground. He shifted the ground. That's what Obama did. That's what Obamacare was. This is what Democrats understand that Republicans don't. Democrats understand that when you have power, you have to use it now. And even if it means that you're going to lose it for a little while, you change the nature of the playing field. So when's the last time Republicans had unilateral control of Congress and the presidency, and they passed a major piece of legislation that shifted the groundwork, making it nearly impossible for Democrats to roll back? When's the last time? Republicans had control of all three branches of government from 2002 to 2006. Nothing major passed. Nothing. And they didn't shift the groundwork in any substantial way. Democrats had control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency from 2008 to 2010, or 2009 to 2011. And in that time, they passed Obamacare, which dramatically shifted the groundwork. Now, Democrats lost 1,000 seats across the country. They lost the House, Senate, and presidency on the back of Obamacare. They didn't care. The reason they didn't care is because they now understand that they've shifted the way Americans think about health care. We now think it is government's job to provide you health care. Once we're in that world, Democrats have now won. They've now taken another area of territory off the board. Okay, they just took Casterly Rock. They may have lost a lot of troops to do it. They may have put themselves in a bad political position. That bad political position is temporary. The change they made is permanent. Democrats understand this. Same thing is true of executive amnesty. By Obama moving forward on executive amnesty, he lost Congress in 2014 based on his executive amnesty. There's a huge backlash to the executive amnesty, but because he knew that it was going to shift the groundwork, that it was going to make people feel like there were 800,000 people who'd basically been given legal amnesty in the United States, he knew that walking that back was going to be damaging for Republicans. He shifted the groundwork. Republicans are never willing to make those same sorts of sacrifices. Republicans could have gone for broke on Obamacare, on repealing it. They could have changed the circumstances on a fundamental level. They didn't. Okay, they could do it on taxes. They're not going to. They could do it right now on amnesty. They're not going to. Instead, Republicans are always fearful of losing power because when you're a conservative, your typical job is to stop Democrats from doing insane things. But the problem is that if you think your only job is to stop Democrats from doing insane things, you can only do that so long as you have power. Well, you're never going to have power indefinitely. That means that if Democrats have power for 5 minutes, boom, they shift the game. The playing field has now been tilted. And now you're fighting an even more uphill battle. And so you say, okay, well, the playing field's already uphill. We can't lose power. We can't afford to lose power. They'll shift the playing field some more. So they don't do anything. They don't try to shift it back to level. They don't try to shift the playing field back to level. Instead, they stand right here and they say, okay, we'll fight the uphill battle. We'll try to stop that snowball from rolling down the hill. Then they don't do anything. They lose power, and Democrats, boom. They move the entire hill, right? The hill again shifts. Okay, so this is why Republicans are failing at this. Imagine if President Trump had come out and he had said, listen, we are now going to enforce immigration law. The rule of law is back in force. It's back in force. And the new immigration law that we are going to enforce is that if you are not here and of benefit to the United States, you're gone. That would be a very difficult policy for Democrats to fight because most people in the United States believe that on a fundamental level. But Trump isn't willing to do that because he's afraid of the bad headlines. And he doesn't want to be the bad guy. And the same thing is true of Republicans in Congress. Basically, Republicans are a bunch of cowards on this issue, just like they are cowards on a number of issues, and they are not willing to take a hard and fast political position because they're afraid of the blowback if they do, which will give Democrats back power, and then Democrats will move faster. What they fail to see is that if you do not expend political capital, you can never shift the playing field back in your direction in any serious way. Okay, so this is it's a serious problem, and I'm not sure that Republicans know how to fix it. I want to talk about North Korea as well, because over the weekend, this DACA news, this executive amnesty news, has obviously shifted the political discussion. But the actual biggest news over the weekend was that North Korea tested out a hydrogen bomb, which is pretty shocking. We'll talk about that. But for that, you're going to have to go over to dailywire.com and become a subscriber. For $9.99 a month, you can become a subscriber to dailywire.com. Get the rest of this show live. You can also get Andrew Klavan's show live. That'll be starting in just about 45 minutes here. You can get Michael Knowles' show live. You get all those shows live later when we post them on our Daily Wire website. Then you can watch them without any ads. You also get our website ad-free. You can be part of the mailbag on all three of those shows. We do our mailbag here on Fridays. You can get your questions answered. I get hundreds of emails a day from people who want their questions answered. I can't answer all your questions, but if you're a subscriber, your question will be answered in our mailbag segment, which we do every Friday. You get all that for $9.99 a month. If you become an annual subscriber for $99 a year, you not only get those things, you also get this, the greatest of all possible beverage vessels, the Leftist Tears hot or cold mug. It cannot be duplicated. It cannot be competed with. There are others who have mugs on the market. This is incomparable. It is much nicer. It is some presidential leadership. DACA